Welcome to Big Blend Radio with your hosts, Lisa and Nancy, editors of BigBlendMagazine.com.
Everybody, welcome to Big Blend Radio. You know, we always have new experts joining us in our what we call our Big Blend Club. It's our family of expert contributors, and we're excited to have Jo Clark join our family. She is out of South Carolina, so we love the Carolinas, South and North. And she's been on our show a few times through the International Food Wine Travel Writers Association. Some of the shows we've done with them, talking about Florida. She's talked about North Carolina, wine tasting. And it's very interesting to hear about her adventures because she likes to travel with a glass. In fact, her website is haveglasswilltravel.com. You can also go to the magazine website, Recipes Travel Culture Magazine, which is recipestravelculture.com. So welcome back, Jo. How are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Doing good, and excited to talk with you and just kind of, reintroduce you to our audience so that they know, hey, this is who Jo is and how she got started in her career. I know normally we're talking about destinations, and I'm sure we will, because how do we not talk about food, wine, and travel? But,
They go together.
How did your writing career start?
Unbelievably.
Oh, good. With a glass.
28 years ago, I went to an island near here, about 2 hours away, between Myrtle Beach and Charleston. Spent the day there, and there was this huge empty house on the island that looked like it could be a hunting lodge, probably, or bed and breakfast, something like that. So I tried to research and learn something about this house and when it was built, and couldn't find anything. This was, the internet was out there, but it wasn't that great. So I was doing real searching, still couldn't find anything. So I called a regional magazine. At that time, it was called PD Magazine. And I said, I want to know more about that island and the house and, the history of it. Have you got anything about it that I can read? And they said, no, but, we need an article about that. You want to write it? And, always one for a challenge. I went, well, yeah, sure. So I wrote the article. And when I finished it, I was finally able to interview real people and get actual research done. And I had my pictures because I shooting a Minolta film camera. I had my pictures, and I said, I've got the article done and I've got the pictures to go with it. And she said, oh, we'll send a professional photographer. You won't have to worry about pictures, but you can send us a few so we have an idea of what you want to go with the article. So I sent them, and immediately the phone rings and she says, never mind, we're using yours.
Oh, cool.
So I had my first article and my first pictures in a magazine from saying, I don't know anything about this island.
Yeah, if curiosity kills the cat or gets them more wine, right?
Or get some more writing assignments.
I know. I love that. And so you also come from an education background, so understanding, the English language and writing isn't
teaching business
really,
English, computer classes, teaching business research and report writing. I've taught at the middle school, high school, and college level over the years.
So does that help in storytelling? Because even no matter, teaching business and all of that, that can be a little bit dry, and you're not a dry personality. You know what I mean? You're fun. And so that you've got to be able to connect for people to actually understand and learn. So doesn't that kind of go into storytelling as a writer now, travel writer?
I think it all melds together. You have to have a command of the English language. You have to have those computer skills now more than ever, because most of the time when you write an article, your editor may expect you to put it online and get it onto their website. They don't do it for you. And now, as the editor of Recipes Travel Culture, I have people who write for me and send me an article and pictures, and I'm the one having to get them online. But yeah, being able to tell a story is what makes people remember things in any class that I ever taught, whether it was business law or
Mhm. Oh, wow.
entrepreneurship. You know,
Hmm.
it all everything goes together.
It really does. And I love that because I know you're talking about North Carolina wineries recently and getting to the backstory of these wineries and these places that you go, no matter where it is, it's like who who decided to change things in their life and create these farms or vineyards or attractions, you know that they took a risk or had some vision, you know what I mean? So you're
Absolutely.
getting the entrepreneur story too. And I think that's something that travel journalism is really important for right now as we have all these big box stores and Amazons and all of that stuff, which can be good, but at the same time, to tell the story of the people that are still part of Main Street America or the farm
Right.
agricultural
Where
scene.
they came from, their path, their roots.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I agree. It absolutely does.
And preserves history
Yeah.
because things
And
change.
as a writer, you have to know history. You have to know agriculture. I mean, if you go in and know nothing, it makes your job a lot tougher. You know, I've gardened all my life. My mother had gardens. My relatives grew tobacco and other truck farming. Um,
Moonshining, I
so I,
just heard earlier in a conversation.
yeah,
Little shine.
little shy, just a little, tiny
Hmm.
bit. It was a neighbor. He was just helping a neighbor. You know, he was a good neighbor.
Oh, there you go.
But you have to have a varied background. I think if you go into travel writing and basically don't have any interest and have never done anything, I don't know how you would understand where people are coming from. I've taught
Hmm.
crafts. I've done almost every kind of craft, including stained glass,
Wow.
oil painting. I know you can see the bottom corner of a painting above me, but I've done oil painting. Uh, I'm not all that great, but I've done it so I can appreciate it. And when I'm interviewing someone who is a painter, I have enough sense of how this
The
process happens
value.
to
Yeah.
to be a not just to value their work, but to ask intelligent
Hmm.
questions. You know, I don't have to say, well, what kind of paint are you using? I
Hmm.
know it's oil paint and I know how it's blended and I know it's cut with linseed oil. So
Hmm.
I have a background in so many different things because I couldn't
Well,
decide
you
what to
see,
be
that's
when
a
I grew
perfect
up.
blend. You're a perfect blend, but
There
that's
I
it.
there you go.
Because in travel writing especially, you don't want to just go and rehash a website or rehash the menu items. Like, what was the story behind that? Like, why do you serve crab? Oh, because this specific crab comes in from this island at this time of year, and this is,
Right.
who gets the crab? Well, I shouldn't walk around saying that. But, oh boy. But anyway, but you know what I mean? It's getting to the nitty gritty. And so you've been doing this so almost 30 years now.
Off and on. In,
Wow,
in that
fantastic.
same time frame, I taught college, middle school, and high school, and retired from teaching. Um,
Hmm. And now you
had
get
a
to rock and
marketing
roll.
company. I have a
Oh, wow.
master's. I have my MBA is from Radford in Radford University in Virginia. Undergrad was Mary Baldwin. So
Hmm.
I have a good foundation. My MBA, I took you know, that's a master's in business administration, but
Hmm.
you have electives in amongst all that. So I think all my electives were marketing because I had a marketing company and was continuing with
Mm.
marketing. So that's another thing. I understand marketing. So when I visit these places, I'm always saying, "Oh, you know what you should do? You should be doing this. You should have this logo here." I'm always saying, because I can't shut up, I just go ahead and blab. I could charge and be a consultant probably for the free advice that I give. But I just want to help people.
Hmm.
But in doing that, by having that background in marketing, I know then what to say and how to promote them in an article or in a
Hmm.
small Facebook or Instagram blurb. That's almost like a little ad.
Right. And it's copywriting for, I think, for social media.
Yep,
And I think, look at the tools we have, but the marketing, the tools may change, but messaging, you still need
doesn't change.
somehow, it doesn't. And how people look at things doesn't change.
Right,
Composition is composition.
right. And the colors that you use to attract attention, look at the fast food places. There's a reason that they use red and yellow,
Hmm.
and it's
Yeah.
marketing pure and simple.
Yeah, it is.
But
It is.
driving
So,
down the road,
huh,
oh, your head is going to turn when you see that red or that yellow. It
yeah.
just, and it
That's why I like
replays.
all those old school, like Route 66 highway signs and things like that. All that old, I don't want to say gimmicks, but I mean, come on, have some intrigue and fun. And then we got over slick and
Yeah,
left that. And I'm seeing it come back now where we do a project on the Jefferson Highway that goes from Winnipeg to New Orleans. And it's a route that was done in 1915, started by the editor of Better Homes and Gardens. And he said, these little towns, these agricultural communities need tourism and people need it back and forth up this area. So they started the Jefferson Highway Association. And
in
so
1915.
before Route 66.
Wow.
And so we do a show every fourth Thursday is dedicated to Jefferson Highway. We just won an award for that. Just got to give a plug because I'm with a marketing
Congratulations.
person. See, but they're all. We just interviewed a lady who just restored a highway sign for her cafe. And it we need that back. I think
Yeah.
to bring back main streets and the spirit of adventure and spirit of fun. And when people travel now, they really want that authentic adventure. So the way you write is very interesting to me because you're very personal. You're kind of taking us into your thoughts of when you experience something and connect it with the person. So it becomes this, adventure, this authentic adventure that encourages people to go do the same kind of thing, in their own way. So
Thank
that's
you. That
cool.
makes me feel good.
Well, you should. It's good. It's fun. We're excited. You're going to be on so many panels, and for listeners and viewers, we're going to be doing a lot more panels over the next year. You're going to see parties and panels because we're the big blend, and we can't go everywhere, even though we travel full time, Nancy and I. But everyone's got different stories to tell of their hometown, different opinions, different backgrounds. Like you were saying. I mean, we recently did a panel just on artificial intelligence. One was an attorney. We had a winemaker, a musician, someone also a musician that was representing folks who are blind and how AI technology can help. We had a writer. I mean, it's pretty amazing the grouping. So when you have a conversation, you can get those different perspectives. So Joe's going to be on quite a bit. So we're going to have fun talking to people all over. So
And
yeah,
drinking wine.
and drinking wine. So tell everybody where your next destination is. I know you've got the International Food Wine Travel Writers Association conference cruise going from
If twice.
Canada down. Yeah, IFTWA. We say IFTWA. It's the easier way.
Yep,
And we
I'm
love
going to
them.
Canada, see Vancouver and Surrey. From there, board a ship. The Discovery Princess is where we're having our conference this year. It beats the heck out of a hotel.
Hmm.
So we're cruising down the coast of California and coming in at LA, and then I'll spend 3 days there getting to know that area and before coming home.
And then you go to Hawaii.
Then I go to Hawaii in November for a week-long cruise on a 36-person small yacht.
Now I love that. I
I
think
do
the
too.
small that's and
Mhm.
so do you know are you going to go, is this off the Big Island? I shouldn't say, they don't want
We
to say
come
the
in at
main island. It's
I
not the
think
Big
we
Island.
I
They
think
don't
we
want to say that.
board on Kona and we come back in Molokai. So I don't
Oh,
know which way
Molokai.
that
Oh,
goes,
very
but
cool.
I think in 8 days on a little yacht, we can scoot right around and in and out and do all kinds of things. I'm
Oh my
excited to
gosh,
see
I
what we
can't wait.
do and what
That's
they
gonna
feed me.
and what kind of Now, wait a minute. They say that all 50 states make wine, but what about Hawaii wine?
Yes, I've had Hawaiian wine. I have had macadamia nut wine, as a matter of fact.
Dude, I know I'm not supposed to say dude, but dude, I had no idea. I know I've had berry wine, and we've had orange wine from South Africa. They used to make orange wine, but I've never had nut wine. That's a whole new thing. Okay. I'm
Time
looking
to
forward
go.
to your report. Your report.
Yeah,
So, are
yeah.
you doing any holiday travels that you know of?
Well, that will take me up to Thanksgiving. Probably
Oh
down
yeah.
to Florida to visit a friend over the holidays.
Nice. Well, that's
Unless
not
somebody
far.
invites me somewhere extra special.
With an extra special glass.
That's
Do you
right.
have a glass collection?
I sort of do, yeah.
Yeah.
Because almost every winery gives you glasses.
Hmm.
So yeah, I've got plenty of glasses.
Okay, good. I'm just making sure for when we see you, when we meet you in person. Just kidding.
Don't need
But
another glass.
ah,
Something to put in the glass.
so everyone, the one thing about Jo is she definitely writes about wine. But the first time she came on the show, she was talking about Northern Florida, but you also are into outdoors and nature. And so when you go on a trip, is that what you look for? Is it, specific things, or are you going to also go and do something? Hey, I've
Thing
never done that.
Oh, I've done that too. Yeah, I do something different lots of places. I was just in the Azores and we went out on a whale watch and dolphin watch. We didn't find any whales that day, but we found, I think, four different kinds of dolphin. So we're out
Whoa.
on a Zodiac bouncing across the ocean with the salt spray full in the
Oh,
face. And of course, that's the day my retina came apart from my eye.
yeah. So this is a travel writer injury.
Yes. Yes, I'm
Oh,
blaming it on that. That didn't help, I'm sure. But I told the doctor, that I saw a what looked like a green. Now I know it was blood, but it looked like a green little piece of yarn in my eye. And he said that was that retina coming
oh,
apart, pulling. And so bouncing around in the water for 4 hours, it pulled it the rest of the way loose,
wow,
I think. It was
wow,
detached in two places.
wow, wow. And I'm glad to see you're not wearing a pirate, you know,
I
the
just thought
pirate.
that would look too bad on screen.
Oh,
But
but I saw you had the patch on when it first happened. I was like, oh no, because I remember chatting with you on your way. You catching the flight over, and you
coming
had all
home
kinds
to,
of,
to
yeah, you
have
had a long
surgery.
wait. You had a long wait to get over there, and so.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, the thing with the patch, I couldn't see anyway. I was completely blind in that eye, but it was all light. So with this white light, fuzzy
Wow.
looking like Vaseline, uh, and then this eye trying to compensate, it made this eye work harder. So it seemed like if I patched it, then this eye could see.
Mm.
There was still that loss of depth perception. So I stepped off a couple of curbs that I didn't know were there and
Oh
dropped.
wow.
That they came as kind of a surprise. But I was on a press trip, so I was with other people who kind of watched out for me, and one stayed on my left
Mm.
side because from about here around, I had nothing. So if somebody walked up beside me, I didn't know it. If there was a wall there,
Mm.
I would turn and run into a wall. So it was a scary thing to have happening, especially in a foreign country. But
Hmm.
getting the patch was the easy part. That everybody was afraid I'd go in this drugstore and not be able to explain what I needed, and I said, "Oh no, pirate."
Yeah.
That transcended every language.
You got your patch, and then,
I got
but
my
even going
patch
on the
a couple
plane, we were
times.
all sitting there going, "Oh my gosh, she's going to go on an airplane." That also was nerve wracking. So
It was. It
yeah,
was.
so but
but I've had the
That is a thing.
surgery. Think
Yeah.
it seems to be turning around. I still
Good.
have real fuzzy vision, but I do have vision. And I discovered today that if I take that eye guard, it's got all these little holes drilled in it. If I wear that, I can see better with that eye. Who knew?
Man, the things hey, this is what travel, you can have injuries on the road, and it's good to have insurance when you go overseas. I'm just gonna say travel
Yeah,
insurance. Just as a
I,
travel tip, yeah, very
I
good thing to have.
yeah, because not only did I have to go to an emergency room in a foreign country that would not take any kind of credit card, it had to be cash.
Mm-hmm.
Not only did I have to deal with that, but coming home, instead of coming in and landing in Myrtle Beach at 2:30 in the afternoon, I needed to change my flight. I left New York at 5:45 in the morning. I was on the ground here at 7:40. By 8:30, I had seen 3 specialists and was scheduled for that afternoon's surgery. So it happened fast because they knew I was coming. I had
Mm-hmm.
texted my ophthalmologist, so
Mm-hmm.
she had it set up and knew what was going on. She had the diagnosis from the ophthalmologist in Portugal.
Wow. Wow, this is amazing. Like when you think about travel and now digital communication, I mean, 20
Yeah,
years ago, this would be a bigger ordeal,
it
you know,
would, but my
you know.
airline charged me $350 to change that 12:30 flight to 5:45. The plane was only 1/3 full. I mean, I had an entire row, both sides to myself. But they charged me
I
$350
think
because
that
I
it's time
changed
for the
at the last
airlines to
minute.
get a grip on things, and it's slowly getting there, but there's some rules that need to change
Yeah.
in that
But
industry
that
for sure.
insurance is taking up the slack. They're paying the difference.
Oh, see, there you go. That's a good tip for folks. So,
So,
and it gives you
yeah,
kind of
get the
peace of
travel
mind.
insurance. I
Yeah,
haven't,
it
it's a
get
yearly policy. You pay it every year. It was like $280. I just
yep,
got back 350 plus the emergency room.
exactly. And it's peace of
One
mind.
thing.
Yep, it gives you that peace of mind. Well, Joe, always a pleasure. We can't wait for next time, and we can't wait to hear how Hawaii was and Canada and
Oh, I can't
cruising.
wait to tell you.
We'll be chatting with you soon. I know we're going to have some travel talk coming up. So everyone again, haveglasswilltravel.com is the website. Also recipiestravelculture.com. And from there, you can find out all the different social media avenues, Facebook, Instagram, all of that. And of course, keep up with us at bigblendradio.com. We've got to have so many amazing shows coming up. We're excited. So thank you so much, Joe.
Thank you, Lisa. You're the best.
You are
Bye.
too.